Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to do some long-term financial planning. And lately we've come to the decision that we need to be counting month year instead of month number. So to make our graph, we took months 1 through 360, projecting out 30 years. And it turns out for some of the things we want to do, we really need to know what year is that? What month is that? And so we're working on changing that. All right, now we talked briefly yesterday, we could have made our change with a parallel change where we basically build up the new way kind of through all its levels, completely separate from the old way, and then at some point we can flip the switch. We're doing something a little different. I think I'm going to call it widen then narrow. So we're going to make the interface bigger and then we're going to shrink it down. But when we shrink it, we're going to shrink down to the new thing. Now you can do this with multiple parameters if you need to, and there are lots of variations and so on. But and the other big thing is you can go bottom to top or top to bottom. Now we're doing bottom to top in our case. So kind of like on the left, we've got the old interface, everything's using it. And then we're going to introduce a new parameter. Well, we can start at the bottom and say, what I really need here is a month year, not just a month number. And then where we're going to get that month year? Well, it's going to be one of our callers. And so we'll work our way up. In the third column, we'll get to that previous caller and get the month year from them, and then continue on until we're back up to where the information is available, and then we're ready to send it all down. Okay. And so well, we have choices about when do we make it functional and that kind of thing. But for us, for now, we're just getting that parameter available. It's kind of making room for the change. We're not using it. We're just throwing junk data in there for now. But once we get it all the way to the top and we have the real data, we're going to move that real data down. And as we do, we'll pass it down to our children, but we'll also remove the old parameter because we won't need the original approach anymore. And so step by step, you can push it out as well, just like you brought in the other one. Okay. Now it does presume that you do want to get this information from a parameter and that's the right approach. You just have the wrong one. Okay. But in the end, you're fully converted. Where the parallel change, I would have a separate column for the red circles and the blue squares. I would build up the blue squares and then at some point just kind of like flip, and I might do it in small pieces or something, but it's kind of done independently. This way, I think of as kind of a fall forward kind of thing rather than separate. I like it when the situation we're in, I know the kind of information we need at the bottom level, and I mean, our system's not that big. We can kind of work out which ones give it to us. But starting at the bottom and working to the callers, we can find that chain up to the top. You can also start at the top if you know what you're doing. I'm was feeling a little fuzzy yesterday, so I didn't want to risk it. But again, our system is pretty small at this point. There's, I don't know, a dozen classes. Well, maybe less than a dozen model classes anyway. All right. So let's go back to it. I guess we'll just quickly look at what we have, where we are in that process. So we introduced month year to amount on the stream. So normally we would ask a stream, hey, it's month 17. How much are you worth? And, the job of the stream is to compute that. Now we're also trying to add age, and that's what exposed that our month number is not good enough. So we haven't dealt with age at all. I'm going to try and get through the other side first. Okay, so there's stream. Well, who calls stream? Well, it's scenario. We have Scenario.project gets the net for each month, and that calls stream amount. So here's the call to stream amount. We've passed a month year in. We've got a sort of a junk value here, and then its caller, because we know the start date is part of the range of dates we want to do, and so we know that's up at the very top, so we got to work our way up. Okay, so project calls net, which calls stream. Who calls project? Well, that's possibilities. So project says, give me the maximum number of months and I'll project everything out from the first to the last. Now up in project here, we have added start date. Well, I guess it's the field here. Okay. Maybe start month might be a better name, but we have that information and we're not passing anything. We're not passing the range down to project. All right. Month year range. All right. But we know that's what we want. Now we're kind of in the middle here. We know we want this closed range of month year. It lets us create it, but if we want to do anything with it, we probably want to implement the Strideable protocol. So Strideable lets us do stuff like this. And basically it lets us, increment a month, year, and get the next month or possibly the next year. Okay, so I think our first step is let's make month, year be Strideable. That will be forward, move us forward. Okay, because once we have a Strideable range, we'll pass in that month from the top level, we'll pass in the range as well as the maximum month here. And then we'll have our data that we can work its way down. All right. So month, year. The other thing, as I looked at this, I'm still kind of bugged. This thing about being zero based or not and all that, it's a little annoying. I'm also a little annoyed, like all the places that say month colon something, year colon something. So we may also do some work on the month and maybe make month a separate enum that's enough smart to do some of this stuff. Okay. Right. So month, year, we want to make it Strideable. Well, let's make an extension. Is Strideable. And it should tell us there's a couple functions we have to implement. Oh, you do it the okay. I think we have to do advanced by n, and we get to choose this type, but int is what we want. Gives us a month, year, and then distance. Oh. Distance to month, year gives us an int. Okay. All right. So let's see. So we're given, like, we're starting with a month, year because this is an extension on self, and we're given a number that could be positive or negative. We can go both ways, forward or backward. All right. And so we want to add this in, or subtract it if it's negative, and then turn it back into a month, year. So I kind of think, well, we could try and like add it and see if it's in the range of the month and this and that. But I think I want to define a little helper function. Now, let's test our way into this, I guess. We understand what those functions are doing. I'll just put a dummy return. We'll try. Okay, and then okay, just while I get the test in place. All right, so we got a month, year. Advances. Advances by integer. Okay, so if we say month, year, month, 3, which is April, year 2022. Well, actually, let's be interesting, right? So if I say month year dot advanced by 1 month, all right, then I'm going to expect that to be equal to month year month 0 year 2023. Okay, if we're in December 2022, move forward 1 month, it should be January the next year. All right, what's the matter? Yeah, I'm tired of those. All right, and then let's check the other way. Well, I can almost do the flip, right? We'll make it 2000 just to make it interesting. If I start in 0 and advance by -1, then it's month 11, 1999, and we get a party. Okay. So these functions should fail, or these assertions. Well, I tried running this on my Mac, and it got a bunch of little warnings that didn't seem to mean anything, and then it ran. So it sort of is a Mac app now, or it's a iPad app running on a Mac, running as a Mac app. Okay, good. The expected 2 tests failed, and January 1st. How do I read this? Month 11 advanced by 1 goes to January 1. Oh, January is the year 1. Okay. Equals, is that equal to January 2023? No. Okay. All right. So advanced. So what I want to do is, let's make it, well, I'm going to make it private for now. 2 months count. Okay, so what I want to do is take self to month count plus n, and then I want to do the opposite to month year of that is my return value. And we'll make func to month year. I don't know, I seem to be forgetting that word func all the time today. Okay. So this should be, well, we have month and year. Year, it doesn't matter that it's 1 based or not. We're going to take the year times 12 plus the month. Okay, that one's 0 based, that matters. Okay, so that should give us an int. And then this goes the other way. Return month year. Month is months mod 12. And year is months divided by 12. Okay. So see if that passes. I think it should. Okay. And then the distance. Okay. So distance to other. All right, so we expect if we do month, year, month, three, year, 2000, dot distance to month, year, month. Well, let's start with the same one. Year 2000 equals 0. Okay, that probably passes now. All right, I don't know how to write this better. We'll get it smaller eventually. Okay. It's 0 because we always return 0. Nothing interesting there. Okay, so now expect month, year, month, 3, year, 2000, dot distance to month, 2, year 2002. Okay, that should equal, well, if we went to 2001, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? That's this. It's December, January, February. Is that right? I mean, it should be 11 months, right? 11 plus 22 because it's a year later. So, well, let's say that. How about plus 12? That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, thank you. I think that's right. If it was month 3 to a year later, it should be 12. All right. So it's a month earlier than that is 11, and then the next year is 12, I think. Okay. And then let's go negative. Well, month year 3 to month year 11, year 2001. Okay, so 3 is 0, 2 is 1, 1 is 2, 0 is 3, is 4. So 11 is December to January, February, March, April. Maybe it's 5. Start 2002. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Going backwards. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that right? Why am I getting back? December to December is 0. To January, oh, to January is 1. February, March, April, 4. Okay. Yeah, that's what I expect. Yeah, I've been studying these category theory videos, and here I am like counting on my fingers, it's like that's kind of a bad sign. Okay, I guess category theory doesn't need numbers. They're a little advanced, or they don't care about them. Care about the shape of the numbers. All right, everything gets 0. Good. Okay, so now month, year, distance to other month. Well, I think we can just use our 2-month count again. So self 2-month count minus, oh no, it's other minus self, isn't it? Other minus self dot 2-month count. Good. All right, and then now I can make it Strideable because it implements those things. All right. And I think our test should pass. Okay. So let's commit this. Make month year be Strideable. Okay. And not another right time to do this. Month as a separate enum. I think first let's get make possibilities pass down month year. Okay. So now, well, 1 to 360, right, is 360 things. So distance, what's max month? Project. Who calls this? Oh, you. Okay. Now, it might be fine to say how many months do you want, but I think possibilities should take a different view. Okay, so max month, what I think we need to do is take we're going to take start date to something and 1 to max month. Okay, so start date, month year. Okay, I want to change it to start month, but that's okay. And then this is start date dot advanced by max month. This is really a number of months, so we'll fix that. Okay, why can't we do that? Cannot convert value of int to advanced type, whatever. Of. Boom. Okay. Yeah, we'll ignore it, but oh wow, lost all that. Okay. Start date something And this is start date dot advanced by max month. Cannot convert value of int. Start date is a month year. Month number int to expected argument type month year. Insert label of. Yeah, okay. That's fair. All right. So the only difference is this is zero based, if I can say it that way, advanced by. We called it month 1 through max. It's really 0 through max month minus 1. But I kind of am okay with that. Or am I? Let's be refactoring, I guess. Okay, so this should have no problems. But now we have the real month years coming in. Okay, so in my picture, of all the stacked up calls, we now have the start date or a date month year going into the right thing. Okay, so this should pass tests, and then we'll do some refactoring first. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to call this start month. And this is not a month number, really. It's number of months, and I'm going to get rid of the month number thing here. Okay. And again, that should be no problem. Now this is a little long. Well, it wouldn't hurt to format it. Okay. And how's scenario looking? Okay. Now, who calls this a scenario test? Okay. All right. So let's capture this. This is actually good. Okay. So we made possibilities provide range of days to show. I'll calculate. Plus a little refactoring. Okay, so I guess I want to identify what we can do, and then go over and work on month, which is bugging me too much. Writing this kind of stuff, month colon, year colon, is really annoying. Okay, now, and I almost think it's not even necessary now. If you know it's month year and it's a month and a year, like that's kind of obvious. All right. So what I think can happen is, because we have that distance function that we just wrote, and we know that you can get to the start of a range, the lower bound, we can convert the current month into a month number. And if we can do that work in here, we don't need it passed in. And so I think that will be the twist point that switches us from months being passed down to us computing it to eventually it goes away. And that's just subtracting the current month from the lower bound if we walk through the list of months instead of month years instead of months. Okay, but I do want to okay, I'm taking that comment out for sure. Okay, I think I want to make month into an enum. And then I kind of want to change those names to be just 3-letter names. But let's start with that. Month. And I think if we make them integers, that's going to be good. Case Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. Now, I think we can make month be custom string convertible. And we can pull these in. Can I put this in here? Never quite sure. Enums must not contain stored properties. I almost can let that be. Okay, so the description for a month is really months sub raw value. Okay. All right, now I want to make month comparable. Can I say left less than right? Okay. So that's fine. All right. So I'm going to try and make this go to month. And to do this, it's going to have to be month of raw value month. Value of optional type month must be unwrapped to a value of type month. otherwise January. Okay. Now self.month equals I don't know if that's ideal, but is that almost everything? Okay, months. So this should be month. And that'll automatically convert. And this, I think that's what we want to do. It's a little unfortunate that we're calculating the month raw value in here, but I think month year just has to be the one to know that. Unless we give this, yeah, that count is really raw value anyway. Okay. So I believe PF type month. Yes, in the long run we will. Cannot convert value of type month. Right. They're accessing directly. There's not a lot of them. Maybe this is the only one. This is October. Result value is in question mark. Month number. Month year view. Month year. This is January. Cannot assign month number to type int. Who uses this? I think we'll do that for the moment, but yeah, we'll get rid of this. Okay. Last month. Okay. So now, yeah, let's put in a new initializer. I don't know if I can do this with the same name. And I don't want to specify these because I think it'll be obvious. All right, so init month that, and then self.month equals month. self.year equals year. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so my goal is get rid of this constructor now. This one I think is okay. But he's kind of dealing with something we already had that, well, I mean, in principle, if you ask for the month, it's going to be 0 through 11, and it will never be out of range. Okay, so let's find some users of this. Well, let's just grab any test. Okay, that's month year from date. Let's say April 2000. Oh, I keep deleting that one. Okay, those are good. So what I really expect is sut to be equal to okay. Now most of our code won't use these, but lots of our tests do. Yeah, I think that's definitely an improvement. Okay, come on. All right, date specifier. And it gets rid of that subtracting 1 in most cases, so I'm happy about that. We'll want to change that. Make a to-do. If he needs it, I don't know. Okay. Does that seem right? 2020. Seems like this one should be October. I think because we don't use it yet, we didn't catch that. So this should be January. Oh. We may find out I put some wrong values in here when we actually run it. Month one is, well, let's call that January. I don't think they are exactly the same because of the way things go. Okay. Oh, we don't need that anymore. Last date, okay. Yep. Okay. Now we'll go see if anybody still uses that old constructor. I guess we'll just do this. Yep, there's a couple. Okay, so this is month with raw value of that. And the year goes away. I think We're guaranteed 0 to 11, so we know it's in range. Okay, arguments. Month. These are just kind of junk values anyway. Yeah, this view. Oh no, this is better than that. Month number. What's month number? Is a month already, so we can just use month. Well, okay, we'll have to change that. Month number, I think, can just be month. Come on. Yeah, sometimes just. Oh, okay. Now, wait a minute. Something is very funny here. Array sub 0. Okay, array of result. Scenario. So that's an array of scenario. Scenario.net. This is optional. Why is that? Month year view value does not come with a picker. Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that. The picker, I think, gives him the tag, but we'll have to check. No, not yet. Stream. Oh, this one does. Okay. Missing label of. I don't see why that. Well, they never complained before, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Of cursor of month year equals default. So why is that not legal to be missing? Now, you might say I would have been better off making it the second parameter, and I agree with you there. I don't know if that matters. I'm pretty sure they've made things pretty flexible. Build failed, cannot convert into missing label month. Well, isn't that weird? We've run these tests multiple times this morning. Scenario. I'll take this out. I think there's going to be ones complaining that they don't have it. Or that they do have it. Okay, this one I understand. Because we're actually passing something to it. Okay. I don't super care because we're going to get rid of month number. Hopefully by today, maybe by tomorrow. All right, month year, I think I left. Okay, you just compiled. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It keeps those errors and it wants to attach them even after it has already realized it shouldn't. Okay, so remove month year of month colon year colon constructor. Okay. We'll look at date specifier, but I don't know if I'm going to change it yet. Okay, no, we don't want to change it just yet. Okay, so yeah, because I think what the change we want to do is get rid of this. We don't want to specify things with a month number in the future. Okay. Good. All right, so let's take that out. Okay, Scenario.project needs month range. Okay, so, well, let's take possibilities. I think possibilities is right for now. We'll eventually get rid of this, but I don't think we'll need it in a minute here. Scenario.project right now. I think this should become required. And that's going to affect all the tests that create this whole thing. Okay, so imagine there's going to be some complaints. That last task one, oops, sorry. No, we don't go back to it too much for any reason, but never quite know. Let's see if any tests, if anything was going to break, it's probably a test. Yep. Okay, let's do of month year January 4 and scenario. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now the big flipperoo. I want to say, instead of months for each, I want to say range for each. And this is going to be a month year. Range for each month year, but we need the month still. So the month number is month year I guess distance to month year. And I guess this was called month before. Okay. Now, I think this is the moment that will break if if I have messed it up. Okay. Okay, yeah. It looks like an off by one error. That should be 12 months though, shouldn't it? Let's look at scenario again. Okay, we got the closed range for each month, year, and well, let's just print month. Sorry, where's the month count -1? Was that back in the test? Past possibilities. This one. Month 0 through 12. What? Project month, year, January 24th to December. Yeah, so that test doesn't care about that. It seemed like the other ones did, but something's weird. Okay, let's just run this one test. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoa, what's that? Oh, that's... No, what is that? I guess that's possibilities being initialized or something. Yeah, so this is 0 to 360, so it is one bigger. But this looks right. We should see 100, 200. Well, that's weird. Okay, so we're making $100 a month. We don't put any dates on it. Oh, we need a +1. I see. Yeah, right now it's using month as well, it's supposed to be the month number, but it should range from 1, and that's ranging from 0. Okay, so back in scenario. This should be +1. Well, I don't know if that's going to mess other things up, but let's check this one first. Okay. That is what I expect. Let's see if we busted anybody else. Okay. Project 1,000. And did we get 11,000? 13,000. Oh, I got to take that +1 back off. Why are you all of a sudden? Okay. Monthly net worth is, yeah, he's based on, well, he takes whatever range you give him, but we've been using 1 for the starting number in enough places that they rely on that. So, okay. But in any case, the big thing we've done though now is nobody looks at months. It's unused. Okay. So, let's say derive month from range in scenario. All right, and so now we can take this off, and should be a bunch of places that point out that they should be taken off too. Well, not a bunch, but at least one. I guess that won't hurt. Okay. And it'll find more when it gets to the test, probably. Yep. And actually, I think in terms of the graph, I don't think he's going to care. Like if we give him a range that's, January 2024 to February 2050, I don't think he minds. He's just going to print out those, he's just pairing things up, I think. Good. Okay, so now we remove unneeded months range in Scenario.project. Okay. And now let's find scenario again. All right, so now this is getting the real month number. Of range lower bound. Oh, we want that to be month year. Nobody's been looking at it so far, so it was harmless that it's wrong, but we need to get it right. Okay, and then, well, let's check that in. Use right month for project calculations. And I'm checking it in because this next thing may be enough to mess it up. All right, because this now, I don't want this to be defaulted anymore, and every test is going to have one. So, can I get by without it? Okay, yeah, so can I get by without it? Well, not really, because Stream does all its calculations in terms of month, and it's comparing months to the Stream first month and the last month. So it doesn't need that for unchanged. It only needs it for month, but this is the point where nobody cares about our new month yet. Okay, so I don't know if I want to. Well, age would, but I think, well, tell you what, let's run it. We haven't done that in a while. I think our spinners are probably screwed up or potentially screwed up. Let's do people. That's easier to see. Okay, so if we add Bob, well, these look okay. He was born in June 23rd, 2022. Is that normal? May 2003. Yeah, something screwed up there. Okay, I probably turned them into months when they should have just stayed month numbers for now. And let's make sure the stream is still working. Okay, that looks kind of okay. Right, we still have those numbers. Salary 2, start month 22. All right, okay. So yeah, month year view. Okay. Where'd my... Here. Okay. I don't think it's terrible if he picks it, but okay. So this is bound to month. I think I should turn this back into an int. He's not really a month. Wrapped. I think this is where I need the raw value still. Month year equals. Oh, that's why they went back to January. Okay. Yeah, and I think you could make it not need the int value, which would probably be wise. July. There we go. It's not breaking it now. Okay, let's make sure it accepts it. July 5. Yeah, good. Okay. For now. Okay. Scenario.project needs range over month year. Yes, that's done. Scenario net, he needs the real month year. Well, I don't think he does yet. He will, but so the problem I have is Stream doesn't care about cursor, which is not a great name. Eventually we'll call it month. um, so maybe this is the time to change this. Streams don't know possibilities. Well, okay, this might be a more of a parallel change. So right now we're using month number, but what we really want is month year. I'm going to change this to month underscore. He's on his way out. Okay. Month underscore. Okay, and all those places are going to change eventually. Okay. Now, I guess I want to look at what I would like to do is month year view. I don't like the word known there. How can I make myself happy? Because I think it's well, the birthday or death date known is probably okay, but the one we're doing, a stream, it should probably be override or set date or something. Okay. So what Right, go back to stream. So in here, if he knows the month year, he knows the same thing either as a month year or a month, ideally. If he knew it as a month year, he can he calculate that? I don't know. I guess if he had the right answer, which we haven't proven. Yeah, that's the thing. He would need the start date to calculate that, but I don't want him to calculate. I don't want him to need the start date. I want the stream to say, well, okay, maybe the productive way would be to make stream depend on the new one. Or we let people access it globally until we get things straightened out. Maybe that would be okay too. Well, what does date specifier do? He knows his name and he knows how to update. So we either return the old or the new. Okay. Let's make up a new thing. Okay, and this is my regular month. Hope I don't mess myself up with too much with that. Month, year. February 2025. Not equal date specifier dot unchanged. Okay. We know that won't build because we don't have a month. I guess I didn't see it fail, but yeah, okay. Switch must be exhaustive. Okay, so if we have a month, we haven't tested anything, so I'm just going to give garbage. Okay. And now I think that this test should pass. Okay. Update when values change. Okay. Expect month of month year April 2023. Description to be Well, I think right now it's April 2023. I might want to go to a better phrase sometime. Okay. But that, I think, will pass. Oh, yeah, comma. Now, update when values change. I guess I'm going to duplicate these tests, these two. Okay, so I need to specify month year dot January 1999. I'm not ready for the new decade. Okay. Yeah, let's see how these are. I think they'll pass with what we have so far. Okay, I'll check that in, but we'll take a break 3 or 4 minutes. See you then. So we've added this capability to represent things as month years. And what we haven't done is make Stream, well, among other things. But it would be nice if Stream could take the thing is, Stream knows things in terms of month numbers. This first and last. And if it doesn't have that, well, I guess what I'm getting to is if we switch this over to using the cursor month, let's Stream first month. Oh, that's what we're creating. Okay. It's trying to figure out the right order to do to switch it over. I guess I'm saying if scenario is passing in the right thing, right? Do we believe that? No, because people are defaulting it. But in this, yeah, I guess on the production side, I believe this comes in with the proper closed range, and calculates the month year correctly. But there are a bunch of tests that use this one. This is okay. That's a test. Right. So if the month number and the month year match, then everything's fine. Okay, so I guess those callers month year? No, net. Let's look at them. Okay, so they say net month 1. Now, this one doesn't care because there's no range specified. All right, so let's let month equal month year January 2024. So there are a number of these. Month year is a much larger value. Yes, but I think there are a lot of tests that don't specify dates, and so this is the date we're graphing on, but it's kind of arbitrary. Is that going to work, though? So I guess the stream, right? The stream knows it's got month 1. Okay. And these are the okay, so this is scenario 1. Scenario 1 is empty, right? $0, what are you? Oh, any result, anything with money 1,000. Money 2,000. Money 1,500. All right. He set scenarios. I don't think he's going to care. Is that good enough? I don't know. I mean, that says use of, and then put the month year for this. Month should be legal. So this test is basically running through a bunch of scenarios and saying, if I look up month 1, in month 1, January, call it January 2024, I should get the same thing. I think this test will pass. mostly because nobody's using of for anything. But I think conceptually it doesn't care. Now this one may be more interesting. Okay. Let's find all these. Okay, that's just structure. Here's scenarios. Right. This one cares. Because of this. He knows his range is that. But that, I think I can say, if I say 1 equals January 2020, yeah, so the other one, it tested the first month. Where is it? But that works because the scenario is built for 1 through 12, and we're not looking at this yet. But I think I'm going to say the scenario should be January 2024 to December 2024. It should be our 1 through 12. And if that's the case, maybe I can make these others make sense. Right. Okay. So this, if I say of month, year, December 2024. And this one's out of range is January 2025. Excuse me. Right, that should be okay. Now all these, okay, I'm going to say test assume month 1 equals Jan 2024. Okay, I don't think that's going to matter yet. But okay. 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 Right. Okay, I think those tests will pass. They're a little arbitrary. Okay, now back to my question mark. A plan tree, a scenario. All right, I think I'll make the same rule. Assume month 1 equals January 2024. Okay, so now any net there month 1. That's 12 later, so it's January 2026. And then one more is February 26. I think that should be okay. Scenario project and some possibilities. Okay. All right. Okay, now I don't know if we've done enough to get rid of that. Let's see. All right, so scenario. So what we try to do is fill in everybody that put the defaulted to this. We may have missed a couple. No. Okay, so all right, we'll remove that default. Okay. Now it gets hard. Got to touch the UI. All right. So I guess stream. How is Stream going to know it should use, okay. I guess this is the question here. Yeah. We haven't driven anything that, like if this has a date specifier, yeah, I guess the problem is, well, a problem is, well, maybe we can make amount work, but he's relying on this. Okay, so I think the test is going to be create a date specifier that uses month year, and if if the first if the date specifier, yeah, so we have to do a different thing. If the date specifier is a month year, we probably have to do something like this, and then we'll have to do something for this. So yeah, so I think the proposal is make stream work with when date specifier and month, yeah, make stream amount work when date specifier is a month year using the value in the of, because he can't use the month number if it's a month year. So I think that'll position everything so that when we change the UI to generate month years, all that stuff will just work. Except the graph. I don't know what's going to go on there. But let's say if the circumstances are right, can you do the right thing? That's a good question for stream. Okay, so a stream. Let's get that over here with the rest of them. One. Well, that's not consistent. Let's make that January. Okay, inside a month year date range. Okay, so we're going to need another one. Make stream, and this should be a I guess it should just be a date specifier. If you give me a date specifier, I'm going to do it with first and last. Okay, so if we're passing in date specifiers, that's good. All right, so if we make this first is dot month, make this January 2020. come on, you know who that is. Reference to member month. Dump. Oops. Okay, so if the date specifier is in range, and then let's do a date specifier out of range. I'm actually kind of okay doing this test first. Same range, but now we're going to get December 2019. November 2020, is that month 12? 0 through 11 is January. Oh, October is the last month, so November 2020 is outside the range. He's actually month 11, I think. Okay, so this test should fail. Good. All right, so he returns 0. Oh, he returns minus 1,000. Good, that's the place we wanted to fix. All right, so stream. Well, yeah, he fell through here, but he should check this. All right, if case let month of month year equals first, and cursor is less than month year, return money 0. Okay, that should fix one of those. The first one. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to say is if you set up the stream with month year range for when it's active, and then you check it and you've passed in a month year, it's going to use the month year against the date range like that. This probably leaves some holes of weird combinations, but we're going to kind of get to the point of not making those happen. Okay, so now I think both these tests, let's see, is this one, right, this should be in range, this should be out of range. Okay, so if month, right, if this is let month year, this is last, last is the date specifier. Okay, so if it's a month year, if month, where's month from? Oh, month number. Okay, so I guess we want if cursor is greater than month year. Let me leave this money 1,000. For the moment. Okay, because I want to make sure this test totally passes and this one fails. Okay, and this one should, both those should fail. Okay. Else that. Oh, okay. Yeah, they should all pass. Okay, so inside outside date range, good. Test month starts at 1. Does that matter? Okay, I guess that's all consequences of this. Okay. So I think we're close. If we modify our user interface to produce date specifiers with month year ranges, then I think our amount code should work. The overridden by should work based on this. They all work the same except unchanged. Okay, so let's see. I have trouble building up the picture of the overall stuff. Right. So he takes date specifier. Okay, that has nothing to do with date ranges. Date specifier view. Date spec is start month. Okay. Right, so I think date specifier view. See what he looks like. Well, he's got that number field. So I think we're going to make date specifier be like that other date view, month year view. Let it preview here somehow. Yeah, this, you can see it's building Swift parser which is part of Swift syntax, which all that's going to be built in when the new release comes out. I sure hope they include Swift testing in there. Why that's not built from the last time I ran previews, I don't know. Test completed. Okay, here we go. Right, choose date. Okay, and then the month year view. Well, month year view basically needs a month year. So I think our date view what's month year view again? He doesn't take a label. All right, so month. Okay, so I think what we're going to have is text of label and then month year view of month year year optional. And then this goes away. Oh, actually this part does not. We'll let it show first. Why is it rebuilding tests for a preview? Okay, well, we'll see how that looks in the real thing. I think the text will show up over here. Okay, but this on change of month year, something new, date spec equals unchanged if it's new, otherwise date specifier dot month new. Okay, let's run this. Now, because we made date specifier hold both types, or, it can work with either type, that's why I'm hopeful. Well, the text could be a little better. But let's try it. And the moment of truth. Okay. Well, there's a little lie going on there because we don't know when month one is, but it does that okay. Okay, so I think what that says is our graph is ignoring. Oh, no. Well, I mean, this has the right date, so that's good. And it prints the right way for what we want. So that's okay. Yeah, the graph's still just not right. But I think, I mean, I mentioned earlier, we kind of know that's not going to be right. What's weird to me, though, well, I don't know. It just doesn't know where this range is. Like, how does it know this is now or whatever it's supposed to be? And then, oh, for the label, yeah. And I mean, I think something about the range is not quite right, but something is right. I mean, this is kind of doing something. I think really, well, everything before like this month, because it supposedly starts with date, right? Should be zeros, and then from then on, it should be 43.21 a month. That kind of is right. I do think in terms of the interface, like January 2000 is sort of a generic date for a birthday, but for this, it would probably be better to start it off at 2024 or something, something closer to now. Yeah, the human readable part is not right. Okay, but yeah. Okay, so well, that's encouraging. Okay, so this make stream use month year view to create stream range. Okay. Now, what I almost think, yeah, I just don't know what to think. This scenario, right? This is coming in with an actual month year range. That's good. Right. Let's figure out the graph thing, and that's this, right? Yeah. It's this month being an int that's wrong. Okay. Let's go back. Scenario net worth. Okay, monthly net worth. Well, why it doesn't? Oh, he's an array of those. Okay. Monthly net worth. Month is month. Well, let's make that month year and see what happens. We'll have to do it up here too. Nope. Wherever it was, possibilities. Month is month year. I think it'll fall out correctly because month years have their custom string convertible. I'm hoping. I also think there's probably another place or two that's going to get upset. Yeah. Oh, conform to plottable. Well, let's see what that is. Oops. Should be chart. Is that the stuff for it, or is that data converted plottable using a method like value? Okay. Oh, it does require these things. I guess int already has it. So what is he doing? Create a plottable value for the type corresponding to the primitive plottable value. Provide type. What's he being called with? Associated type primitive plottable. A primitive plottable type. Thank you. So primitive plottable is a primitive plottable type, and its type is primitive plottable, a primitive plottable protocol. Golly. It is a numeric type for quantitative values, date for temporal values. Ooh. I wonder if we just have to go to date. Okay. So primitive plottable takes, so if I made this of date, okay, let's, oh, we got 6 minutes. Okay, so the thing it's complaining about is what? Requires that month year conform to plottable. Month year. All right. Port charts. You know what he's going to say? Associated type equals. Yep. Does not conform. Okay. I think if I do these, I don't even need to say that. Okay, so a primitive plottable as a date. Well, init as a date, we know that's really just this. Is that going to work? Self-dot. Cool. And then can we get from a month year back to a date? Is date formatter? Format date to string. That's the opposite of what we want. Oh, maybe not. We'll take this and see. It would probably be good to what were those cheat sheet things? What's the month name? MMM. MMMM. Well, we don't necessarily have one. Okay. Well, that failed quick. The scale domain configuration doesn't match the encoded type. No wonder. All right, well, that's not a 0-minute fix, so we'll leave that for tomorrow. But I mean, I think we're closing in. I don't think we're quite there, but we've got date month years coming in from the top down to the bottom to stream. We've got month years coming in as an option on our interface, and it will no longer produce month, it will produce month year now. So if everybody's consistent, then that's all good. We've got something on the date thing, but something's not quite right either. Configuration type date doesn't match type for channel. Somewhere I've told it it's going to be an int range or something like that, I think is all that is. How it detected it there, I don't know. But in any case, I think we're closing in. Yeah. Well, tomorrow's only Wednesday, so we got time to get it fixed. So we'll pick up there tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 Eastern, 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. And yeah, I think we're closing in. And once we have that, we can go back to our original plan, which was make age work as a valid option. Okay, so in StreamView, and make StreamView use date picker. I would say we've done that. Okay, well, cool, and thanks for joining. Catch you tomorrow or some other time. Bye bye.